section we're going to explore metaphors for health. And I suppose the first question is, what is a metaphor? Well, how we interpret the world is based on how we make sense of the world. And part of how we make sense of the world is through comparison and through stories and through understanding something. So we link something to be here that is like this. So this is like this. So for example, within health and within our physical wellness, your body in the medical model of health and wellness, your body is seen as a machine. So your body is broken down into parts, and we even have specialists for each part. So we have the gynecologist and obstetrician for the feminine parts. We have the urologist for the bladder parts. We have the cardiologist for the heart parts. So each part of the body is divided up into parts, as would a machine be divided into parts, and it can break down like a machine breaks down. And we see it that the doctor's role is to help us to repair the body. So when a part has broken down, what can we do to help it repair? Now, interestingly, based on my beliefs, the body is a self-healing machine. So it's got its own intelligence and it can heal itself, therefore doesn't need much interference from other people coming in to try to repair it. And that's how the medical model works. It is seen as it's a body, it's a machine, it does its parts. Now, we have other systems of medicine and of healing that see the body in a very different way. So, for example, in Indian format of the Ayurvedic medicine, your body is seen as an energetic system, and it is seen with having the chakras and the body and healings through each of these and how it works. Within the Eastern system, within the Chinese medicine system, you have the meridians, which are then stimulated using acupuncture and other healing formats, and within a different philosophy. So the storylines behind each philosophy are different. Now, I have a very eclectic way of thinking of each of these, and it is about using the system that the person themselves has an understanding of and has a connection with and has a link with. Now, what can happen within our own belief patterns is that we have different stories, different use of metaphor that conflicts with another. And being aware of how we use each one of those is a useful tool. So when we think about, and the other metaphor that we've already used within our system, and I don't know if you've done this unit or not yet, is your body as a temple. And so if you think of your body as a temple, you think of giving self-respect, you think of self-love, and you think of self-care. And in treating your body as a temple, you treat it as something that is divine, and that's something that is valued. So each one has, again, each one has its own little ways of working, and that can be advantageous or not. I have a very eclectic view and will use each one in accordance with whatever is presenting to me at the time. So within my own system, I can either go energetically, do I need to clear my meridians? Do I need to clear my chakras? Are my head and heart and hara in flow? All of which come from 3 different systems. And I can also go, have I got a physical breakdown? What do I need to do? Do I need to eat more healthily? Am I feeling this way because I abused my body, as in not treating it as a temple, as in drank too much alcohol? So as you can see, we have, for as many storylines as there are, for as many metaphors as there is a way that we can interpret it as far as affecting our bodies. So how do you know what your metaphor is? The biggest clue is what comes out of here. It is what you actually say. And if you listen, and it's fascinating, I like going on public transport and hearing and listening into other people's conversations. It's sometimes a trick to keep your mouth shut, but it's about listening into what other people are saying, it will give you their clues as to what their metaphors are. So when it's about what are the words that you use, and I think a classic example for what metaphors within health and healing are is the notion of cancer, because everybody talks about the battle with cancer, everybody talks about the fight, everybody talks about how they're going to beat this. So it's a very confrontational interpretation of the actual dis-ease process that means that you are creating a war within your body. You are considering your body to have been invaded. And this metaphor is persistent throughout cancer and cancer treatments. So even within the notion of cancer treatment and using chemotherapy, you do the chemotherapy that kills off the cancer. Do you really want to kill off your body? Do you really want to kill? And in essence, the rest of your body is collateral damage. It is such a huge war metaphor, and it's all pervasive. As you can guess, I don't quite agree with this one. The model that I like, as you can tell, I'm not a fan of the battle model. The model that I like is the one that Robert Dilts explored with his mother in the book Beliefs, Pathways to Health and Wellbeing. And as he was and she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and more or less was told to go home and get ready to die. And in the work that they did, part and parcel of the work that they did together, one, he did lots and lots of things around belief changes, but another key within it was that it was about using visualizations. And in using the visualization, his mum didn't want an aggressive form of visualization against the cancer. So she viewed her cancer as grass growing and that it was overgrown. And then what she did was she saw her immune system as sheep, and the sheep coming around eating the grass is their job. And so they kept the grass down. Now that actually fits with what actually happens within your body, because when we maintain our status quo within the body, we are constantly exchanging cells within the body. We are constantly, so as an example, your stomach lining is replaced every 5 days. Your skin is replaced every 28 days. So your body is not the same body that it was a year ago. So when we're looking at it as a machine, it's not actually a machine. It is a constantly evolving system. And as you think about this, you can then intervene within your system, that when there is an issue within your system, you can intervene in a way that then promotes the use of your body as that system for replacing it. So it's the kind of thing that if your body replaces your stomach lining every 5 days, how on earth can you keep a stomach ulcer for longer than 5 days? Other than by recreating and recreating and recreating, which is caused by some of the beliefs that you hold or your perception of what is causing for that. So what I want you to do now as an exploration within this unit is I want you to consider your own metaphors. And as I've said, all you need to do is listen out to people. And in this one, what I want you to do is I want you to write, being ill is like... And then the second stage of the exercise is I want you to write, being well is like... And to give you a clue and to trigger your creativity and your access to your unconscious for what you think about metaphor about health and healing. If you haven't got an immediate answer, my example was, being ill is like being under the weather. I don't know how exactly you define being under the weather, because I could explore that even further and then take that on. And being well is like a sunny day. So how can I use the metaphor for being well to enable me to transform the metaphor for illness into a positive experience. And my answer would be, well, I know that behind the clouds the sun is always shining. And so if I'm feeling under that weather, I also know that clouds are temporary, that they come and they go. So I can so what that does is it opens up my experience towards healing. And as you look at your metaphors, consider, is it helping me to open up, or is it helping me to shut down? And is there a way of opening it up? And I'm sure that there will be. And just as I'm doing that, you can see that I even have a physical metaphor for that, physical representation that you can see for what opening up for health and well-being. And I think about our symbol of the lotus flower. So having done that, as always, record it. Feel free to share it on our platform, and it will enable other people to think of possibly metaphors that may be more helpful for them in their journey towards wellness. Thank you.